not obviously consider them as the top four sides of the world, like India, Australia, and England. He will definitely make a solid comeback in the T20 team. But Agha Salman, if he wants to batsmen around him to make a difference, and if obviously he gets those solid batsmen, then he should have thrived. But I think Muhammad Ali can be given a consistent and all now because he performed it. So Agha Salman has given the statement that he will give more chances to youngsters in the further series. I agree with Agha Salman that you should give young players a chance, but I think in a when you're playing against the strong teams in the world, then I think young players and experienced players should be played together. You usually try the younger players against weaker teams like Zimbabwe. Even Afghanistan, you cannot consider a weak team, but you can not obviously consider them as the top four sides of the world, like India, Australia, and England, if you look at these solid teams. But even I guess Afghanistan or teams like Zimbabwe or even Ireland, those are the teams in which you can play your second string teams a bit. But I think against teams like New Zealand, you should definitely mainly include some of your senior players. And I think Babar should have been in this playing 11 because Babar is a player I think who can manage stabilize this batting lineup, and Babar Azam has the ability to hit big. If you want to choose one of the players from Babar or Rizwan, I think it should be Babar Azam because Babar has the ability to hit big, and I think suddenly removing him from the T20 squad was also a little bit harsh. And New Zealand conditions are the conditions in which he thrives on because he likes the pace on the bat and he plays pace bowling quite well. He's quite strong against pace, and he likes playing pace bowling. He scored three half centuries as well last time over in New Zealand. So I think these are the conditions I think in which he can thrive and do well. And I think he should have been playing in these conditions, and he should have been a part of the T20 team. But it's a failure by the management that they dropped him all of a sudden from the T20 side. And I think the way if he plays well in the national T20, he can definitely make a solid comeback in the T20 team. But Agha Salman, if he wants to give the youngsters a run in the T20 side, he should definitely include some senior players as well, and he should obviously give them proper chances. But he should give those youngsters a chance who are performing the domestic and who have the potential. Because Hassan Nawaz does not have a very good domestic record either, as far as I have seen and have known. And he doesn't look like a solid player who might represent you in the long term. He might fail in 20 innings and perform in only one. That's also not going to be enough sort of consistent. You look at Tim Seifert, the way he's scoring in every match, and the way he literally decimated your bowlers yesterday. He literally destroyed your bowling attack. And I think one thing which was the difference between New Zealand and Pakistani batsmen was that New Zealand batsmen were trying to use the pace while trying to hit the Pakistani bowlers, and they were not going for reckless shots like the Pakistani batsmen were. They were trying to use the pace while going above the covers, and even Seifert used to make room to hit the left arm paces out of the park. But I think Pakistani batsmen were completely clueless against New Zealand bowling. And obviously 130 was not going to be enough. Even though Agha Salman as a skipper is getting runs, he's scoring runs at a regular interval, but I think he needs a solid team around him, solid batsmen around him to make a difference. And if obviously he gets those solid batsmen, then things can get better for Pakistan. But I think obviously your batting is quite important, and in these conditions, you need to in these kind of conditions. If you look at these conditions, you need to at least get 200 plus if you want to have a chance. At least you need to get 200. Because if you get to 200, that is the total win which you can have a chance to defend. But at least 200 is a requirement in these sort of conditions, because 200 I think in these small grounds, these kind of ground, is a reasonably good total. And 130, 140, the cricket has changed from that. It's not going to be enough. It could be enough in a year like 2007 or 8 when T20 cricket started. 130, 40 used to be quite a good total to defend, but nowadays in modern day cricket you need at least 200 plus. And I think Pakistani batsmen fell short in this game most of the time. Bowling did show some potential, Haris Rauf and other pacers, but Pakistani batsmen are the ones we need to set up. And Agha Salman needs to build a T20 team around solid batsmen, especially who can solidify the middle order, and also need to improve the fast bowling a bit. I think even Akib Javed must be given a chance in the future. And I think Muhammad Ali should have done well in these conditions. It was a shock that he failed in conditions like this, in which he should have thrived. But I think Muhammad Ali can be given a consistent and on now because he's performed at domestic cricket. But I think you need to improve your fast bowling, and you need to improve your balanced team overall if you want to have a chance at the T20 World Cup. So, guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe to Sports from our like this. Till then, it's Zubra from my side. Take care of yourself and Allah Hafiz.